Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm Bob Helland, and I'm the endorsed and nominated Independence Party candidate for Minnesota Secretary of State. I'm happy to be here on a Saturday morning with Northern Suburbs CTV. Thank you for having me. To all the viewers, thank you for listening. It's important that all candidates have an opportunity to reach Minnesota voters or their local voters, and I appreciate the work done by organizations like this and people like you who are interested to hear what we have to say. I know I don't look like a typical politician. I have long hair, a beard, and I'm a bit more youthful than most of the people that run for this race. I'm 29 years old, and I would be the youngest elected statewide executive in the United States of America. For me, that's very important. We need to get young people involved in the political system. And that's a big part of what the Secretary of State does as the Chief Elections Administrator in the state. There's a couple points I want to talk about today. I have 5 minutes unedited free time where I can speak to you, and that's a great podium, and I don't want to miss an opportunity. The 3 things I want to talk about are the fact that I'm the business services candidate in the race. I worked for the Minnesota Department of Revenue for 5 years as a business registration expert. And it was very important to me that I worked well with all the other agencies in the streamline of setting up a business in the state, which is very complex. Many people don't know that the Secretary of State's pretty much a first stop for new LLCs or corporations or businesses filing for an assumed name to get set up and get registered and to be a part of our public information systems here in Minnesota. Speaking of information systems, I'm also the technology candidate in this race. I've been working in information technology for many years. I started at a very young age in a family-owned software development business. And I've taken that knowledge through my college education. I went to St. Cloud State University and earned a degree in economics. And I went on to work for the state government as a software tester, a trainer of users who use the state software, and customer service specialist, as well as many other things. I currently work in information technology with large systems, and that experience is critical for the Office of Secretary of State because they have a lot of systems, particularly voting technology, that need to be upgraded. They need to be user-friendly, they need to be safe, they need to be secure. And it's really critical that we have an executive in that office who has the type of experience I have to make sure that we're testing out those systems, that they work well for the state, and they work well for people like you who will be using them. The third thing I want to touch on is that democracy is for all of us. As a young person, I want to blaze a trail for young people that want to become candidates or become more involved in the state's political system or in American political systems. We need to start stepping up and assuming responsibility for the world we live in and the government that governs us. We have more say than we tend to feel, and I think I can be a messenger of that to young people and older people alike, to those older people who have watched the 2 parties kind of monopolize political races in this country and in the state. We need to show them that we have third parties that give us viable options, that are qualified candidates, and that can lead as effectively or more effectively than the 2-party options that were often presented. So again, my name is Bob Helland. I'm the endorsed and nominated Independence Party candidate for Minnesota Secretary of State. I'm the business services candidate in the race. I want to help young people, immigrants, people with disabilities, everyone have access to starting up the businesses or nonprofits that are their dreams so they can chase those dreams and be a part of our civil society. I'm the technology candidate in this race who's going to make sure that the systems that we prepare and deliver to you will be high functioning, and they will be safe, and they will be secure. We will make public information public, and we will keep private information private. And lastly, we need to all become more involved in our political system. Voting once a year, or every 4 years, or every 2 years is insufficient in terms of meeting our civic responsibility. I can be the Secretary of State that educates people about civic responsibilities. Many people don't know that the Secretary of State prepares a student's edition of the legislative manual, that they are involved in the Uniform Commercial Code access, and that they administer the Safe at Home program for domestic abuse survivors. We need to learn about these things, and I want to be the person that teaches Minnesota and helps give you access to our systems. I'm Bob Helland. Thank you for watching. Please please find me online.